Republicans Overseas UK, Sarah Elliott. Sarah, thank you very much for joining us on BBC News this morning. As our political correspondent was just referring to, when Boris Johnson went into hospital, it was, at a very different stage of the disease. He was obviously pretty unwell at that point, and President Trump, it seems, has been diagnosed pretty early and will naturally have, the best medical care available. But, he is 74, he's medically obese. What concerns do you have for his health?
Well, first of all, I wish him a fast recovery. I think he's actually in robust health. His doctors have come out and said as much. He has, as you said, the best medical care in the world. I think he will recover. He is now going into quarantine with the First Lady for 10 days. So the campaign is going to a halt. But then again, I think it'll pick right back up where he left off.
Things change so much now with 4 weeks to go until the actual election. Big question marks over future presidential debates, obviously campaign rallies and so on. What kind of bearing do you think this is going to have on the election? Especially as President Trump was trying to move attention away from the virus. I think it's fair to say he simply can't do that now, can he?
Well, I don't think that he's taken the virus very seriously. I think his opponents tried to say that he downplays it, and now he has a personal experience. And
Sarah, sorry to interrupt you, but, he has been, absolutely not a proponent of social distancing or wearing masks. When he has worn masks, it's been very late in the day. So to say that he has taken it really seriously is perhaps, to a lot of people, a strange comment.
Well, Anita, he gets tested routinely. The people around him get tested routinely, and he wears masks when he feels it's necessary. He also is the leader of the country, and he goes out and he meets with people because he thinks you need to lead by example and not hide in the basement. And I'm sorry, but he put himself at risk, and now this is the situation we're in. But he's asymptomatic, they say. I'm sure he will recover quickly. I do hope that the other people around him also get tested and quarantine as well. He's taking all the medical advice on board. And when this happened with Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, he garnered a lot of sympathy. And so now President Trump has a personal experience and a connection to COVID. And the American people, may just look at him sympathetically and be like, wow, well, he can now personally really feel our pain.
Do you think that's what's going to happen in terms of people who were planning to vote for President Trump or considering whether they would vote for President Trump? Do you think they will feel sympathetic towards him, or will they say, look, here's a president who's been trying to project an image of business as normal during this pandemic, has been keen to keep the economy open and so forth, and now he has actually caught this virus, this disease himself?
Well, I think actually there will be sympathy from the American people, because generally the American people are kind-hearted and they want to see the president of their country succeed. Unfortunately, there are people on the left who are gleefully relishing in this and hoping the worst for the president. But I don't think that's going to happen. People are talking about the 25th Amendment and will Mike Pence take over? I think that's ridiculous and too soon. And I think that he will recover, we'll get back to normal, but it is at a critical time. Every day matters in this campaign right now. So it'll be interesting to see the pollings, but he's the comeback kid. He likes a challenge. He likes to prove people wrong. And I think this is another challenge in which he will do so.
You say talk of Mike Pence, being there to take over is far too premature, but surely the White House advisors will have thought about this possible scenario, and surely it's sensible to talk about this, because if the president was to become ill, and we're told at the moment that he's fine, he's doing well, if he was to become ill, don't the American people want to know what's going to happen?
Well, because of our Constitution, we know what's going to happen, and we do know that the vice president would take over in a situation like that. But it also brings up a really curious point about VP candidates, and there might be now more scrutiny on Kamala Harris. and her role and her possibility of her becoming president prematurely should something happen to the vice president and they get elected. So this may actually have a negative effect for the Biden campaign because Kamala Harris is universally not very popular across the country.
Well, we're going to leave that discussion there. Sarah Elliott, Chair of Republicans Overseas UK, thank you very much for your time today. Let's talk now to Melissa McKenzie, who is